Welcome back to the channel, guys. For you GT500 owners out there, don't settle for stock when you can experience the thrill of increased horsepower from our LMR performance packages. Alright, for the past 20 years, I've been building the baddest street / race cars on the planet, from domestics to exotics. And this domestic behind me is no different. This GT500 is a great platform to start with, guys. So over the past few years, we've perfected these packages where these things baseline at around 650 rear-wheel horsepower in our dyno. We see an average of 100 rear-wheel horsepower gains all the way up to over 500 rear-wheel horsepower gains with our different packages that we offer. For this 2022 GT500 in particular, this customer went with our Stage 1 Plus package. So essentially what that means, guys, is on 93 octane, he gained over 100 rear-wheel horsepower, and on E85, he gained over 200 rear-wheel horsepower. This car came in at baseline a little bit less than some of the other ones. It was, I think, around 629 or 630 rear-wheel horsepower. We made, I think it was 770 rear-wheel horsepower on 93 octane and 860 rear-wheel horsepower on E85. And again, guys, the way we accomplish that goal with this package is we make the engine and supercharger more efficient. There's believe it or not, the exhaust system is still factory on this thing. Factory manifolds, factory cats, factory catback. We turn the boost up a little bit, keep the supercharger nice and efficient, and with the tuning and the extra air going into the motor, it's very easy to add the increased horsepower and torque out of this platform. These engines rev all the way to 8,000 RPMs, and I can tell you, they pull all the way to 8,000 RPMs and more with the added power we give these things. So I'm about to hop in this thing and go take it for a drive, but before I do that, I do want to show y'all one of the things that we add to most of our packages that we do here at Late Model Racecraft. Depending on the vehicle, whether it's all-wheel drive or even rear-wheel drive, the rear-wheel drive cars, especially when we pick up 200 to 500 rear-wheel horsepower over stock, I don't care how well the manufacturer built the car, traction is a limiting factor. So in this car in particular, we put a Toyo R888 on it, on the factory carbon wheels. Look how sexy that thing looks, guys. So this way I can actually use the horsepower as well as the customer, the end user, you guys at home, instead of being all over the road when you get on it and feeling uncomfortable with your car. I like to build cars that make the horsepower reliably, but also I want you to feel safe while driving your car. Whether it's on the street or on the road course or even on a drag strip, you want to feel comfortable when you're in your own car. And this is just one other thing that we, again, attention to detail, that we provide here in-house, so you don't have to deal with it when you get it back home in your local state or your country. So now that the tires are on it, we have over 860 rear-wheel horsepower. I'm about to go drive this thing and have some fun, kind of get you an idea of what this thing sounds like and how quickly she accelerates.
Hey guys, we got this beautiful crowd pleaser here. Getting a 900 package. This is in the beautiful Brittany Blue Heritage Edition. And he wanted a little bit more power, go on E85, so we're going to go ahead and do our fuel system with it. It's going to consist of these 4 Innovations fuel rails, and we're going to tee off the factory line so both rails are fed with even pressure going to the back of the rails, because the factory system only has a one-side port, and then it has a piggyback on the end of the rail, which causes pressure drop and higher RPMs, especially with E85. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade that and associate it with our ID 1300s to be able to supply all that fuel with the ethanol. Again, with our package, we always include a thermostat to keep the temperatures low, and then bump up the pulley upgrade and eliminate that clutch that usually fails on these cars from factory with our ZPE GripTech pulley. We also have all the associated fittings and E85 rated fuel line to go along with this. And to top it all off, we have this beautiful JLT cold air intake that was supplied to us. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that puppy goes in there, makes all the power. Better? Our cold air intake supplied to us by JLT. Nice and clean and beautiful. That was not planned. Maybe I should have fixed that to it. But I'm gonna go ahead and start getting on this build. Go ahead and take it all.
Paninis.
Paninis?
Isn't that majority of Cuban food are paninis?
Where have you heard this?
Isn't it the pressed sandwiches?
Yeah, the pressed sandwiches, but we don't only live off of sandwiches.
Is that called a panini?
No, it's called a sandwich.
What's your word for it?
A sandwich.
Oh,
They ain't no fucking panini.
panini. Cuban restaurants, they call them paninis.
That's Americanized.
Which are, a sandwich is Cuban.
A Cuban sandwich is a Cuban sandwich. And if you say a Cuban sandwich has pickles in it, you're wrong.
What are you pointing at me for?
Everybody swears that you're supposed to have mustard and fucking pickles on a Cuban sandwich. It does not have mustard and pickles.
What is it? Just like a
Ham, pork, cheese.
Pork, cheese, pickle.
No pickles.
But that's the when a place says Cuban restaurant, you walk in, they're all like, oh.
You turn around and walk away.
Yeah, that's not. That's
They're like, oh, have our pressed sandwich, paninis.
no. That's not a thing.
Alright, we're in Mr. Bolton's new 2022 GT500. Completed our stage 1 plus package, so this one is running on E85. Also mounted some new shoes on the back of it. We got some Toyos on her, so God, I wish it wasn't so hot out. It's showing 102 degrees outside right now, but I'm gonna try to get some at least 1 or 2 runs in before I head back to the shop today, and maybe do a few more tomorrow if I can. But with the new tires on it, I'm gonna put this thing in manual mode. I'm gonna try second gear for the first pull, and I'm gonna manually shift it to see how she does. And then after that, we can do a few more pulls in maybe a higher gear, and then just let it shift on its own, depending on that way we can see how it does both ways, depending on how the customer drives the car. This one, oh geez, what it make? 760, I think, on pump, maybe 770 on pump, and then 860, I believe, is where we're at on E85. Again, our 60 to 130 times and our draggy times aren't going to be the best because these conditions are absolutely horrible. We're at 3,400 feet, it looks like, for DA, and again, 102 degrees outside isn't the best for this kind of stuff, but I like to get it just for baselines as well as for data for future vehicles and future testing as well. So we're gonna data log everything, make sure air fuel looks good, make sure timing looks good, make sure it's nice and safe. And I also want to see if it's gonna hook up or not. Might have to do third gear, like I said, later, but I really want to try second, just to see what happens. They pull so good at high RPM. That's me hitting it. I'm shifting it by myself. It did spin in second gear. I can feel it when I'm shifting it. Almost 8,000 RPMs. The 2-3 shift might have been a little early, but it was still 5.7, I think. 60 to 130 right there. That's not bad in this heat. I'll take it, especially for the first pull. So I'm gonna pull over, check that log out, and see if we need to make any adjustments. And we'll we'll go from there. But all right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, give it a like, comment about this. GT500 owners out there, don't settle for stock when you can experience the thrill. The thrill. It's so thrilling. Come on, do it again. Hurry.
Everybody wants to see Dan.
You got battery left?
It still has some battery.
How much?
I don't know. It's orange and
Hey,
flash.
what are we talking about this
That's not
Mustang GT right here?
We were gonna do a walk around.
Look at this fucking thing.
This will be another video coming up.
Mr. Mustang GTs aren't sick. This is pretty fucking sick. Look at the license plate, for God's sakes. This is a man with confidence. Dude, for God's sakes, if you rolled up to this, if this rolled up next to you on the street.
We're gonna do a whole other video.
What is this? Hey, what happens if you pull this thing out?
No, it'll pop out.
Oh gosh, does it
I'm
hurt?
not wrapping it back up.
Look at that, it makes whoosh whoosh noises. It pulled in the parking lot, it scared me physically this morning.
Stay
Keep
tuned
myself
for another video of just Dan's Mustang and Justin's Mustang. Maybe even that one.
Where's all the
right over
enthusiasm?
there.
You don't sound very happy about the Mustangs. Look, dude, this is a $40,000 car that all in cost less than all of these to make ridiculous amounts of power. These things are awesome.
26.5 for that.
26.5.
2020, yeah.
No
So
shit.
2019, I bought in 2020 and paid 26.5.
It's amazing.
Right before the market went all crazy.
How much horsepower are you making on this now?
Last time I was on the dyno, it made 1221 horsepower and a 1118 torque.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm not into Lambos and exotics at all. They don't impress me. I'm more of a American muscle guy.